What's up, fellow junkies, and welcome back. I am your host, Horror Junkies 509. Kind of a special video going on today. Not going to be anything about movies or as far as DVDs go. This is going to be my Jason Friday 13th Hockey Mask collection. It's quite a title, but I guess we'll shorten it up in the typing aspect of that. But we'll get there when we get there. So basically, what I'm saying is I got a full collection of every hockey mask from every single movie, kind of different variants, some of them. So we're going to go through them, kind of talk a little bit about them, and hopefully this will be a little bit fun. I got lots of other memorabilia, so maybe I can do other videos like this. But you guys tell me if it's good or not. So let's get moving. So Friday the 13th 1, when Jason was this little kid played by Ari Lyman, really wasn't a mask. I don't think they ever made a mask of his little kid face or of the mom's face. If there is a mother's face, let me know, because I would love to be Mrs. Voorhees for Halloween. I think I could, like a big busty lady, that'd be sweet. But going on to part 2, you guys. When we first see Jason for the first time. Now I'm just going to tell you, this one I made myself. Got the little sack mask with the eye hole and the rope to tie it off. Made it myself, basically. Go to the Walmart, the local Walmart of our town. Get the shape cut out, sew it together, cut an eye hole, get a piece of rope, call it a day. But for them, part 2 is kind of a confusing one because there's kind of like 2 Jasons that played that one. The most well-known is Warrington Gillette. Heard that he wasn't quite cutting the cheese, or he was too much of wasn't wanting to do all the stunts, or couldn't do all the stunts. He wasn't what he said he was. But as far as the other one is Steve Dash, he's the one I support the most because he seems like he did most of the work. It's kind of been a controversy for as long as I know, but I'm more of a Steve Dash fan. If you guys are Warrington Gillette out there, cool. I mean, we can talk about that later. Like I say, let's talk horror, you guys. Waiting for you guys to come knock me down a peg, and I'll comment back to you. But now let's get into the big shoot match of this video is the hockey mask. The most well-known mask out there. I mean, up with Michael Myers. So I'm going to go with the hockey mask on this one. Because there's way more variants. Michael Myers masks are all the same. Just making sure he's not here. Because it is October. He's out and about. Alright guys, so part 3. When you first see the mask, first hockey mask from part 3, the Shelly mask is kind of what it goes by, because Shelly is the reason that the hockey mask first came. I decided to get this one fairly clean. It doesn't have the infamous axe chop yet, because every other movie's going to have that one. This one was worn by the late, great Richard Brooker. Really bummed out I'm never going to get him to be able to sign this at this point. But, I mean, just the fact that I have a representation of this guy, I'm super happy about. If you guys have seen part 3, it's one of the top ones. Richard Brooker did a great job. I can't say a bad thing about that guy. He was kind of a hunchback in that movie, but, you know, haters are going to hate, I guess. Alright, moving on to part 4. This one's got the infamous axe chop. You can get this one a lot more bloodied up, but I kind of went with the more cleaner look because when you get too dirty and bloodied up, it's kind of hard to see in the night. And I love to freak people out with these things, so like if you can just see the pale version of the face, I mean, trust me, it's a winner every time. Wearer of this mask was Ted White for Part 4, Final Chapter. You know, when the Friday the 13th series ended. Right? Wrong. Yeah. It's just Part 4 now. But Ted White, one of the more experienced Jasons, I would say. He was actually an experienced actor. My favorite part about Ted White is he hates Corey Feldman. Hated him. And I'm kind of okay with that because, you know, as a little kid and being around old men, yeah, he was probably just a dick. Alright guys, so Part 5, coming into the imposter Jason. Got the blue marks on the face to kind of signify that it's the imposter Jason. There's a mask that has the red marks. That's supposed to be the real Jason in the, I want to say, dream sequences that were had in this movie. But I haven't gotten one of those yet. Working on it. But I figured this one is the most necessary for the representation. This is called the Roy mask. Because the guy impersonating Jason, his name was Roy after someone killed his son. Actor being either, I think it's Tom Morga. You guys know I can't read. I'm not a strong reader, but we're dealing with it somehow. And also the guy that played the real Jason was Dick Weirden. And if I butchered that name, I'm sorry, but I'm not going for a reading championship here, you guys. So I watch horror movies. If I could do it for a living, I would. But so Imposter Jason. One of those movies that people hate on a lot because it is an imposter Jason. But you guys, look at just the movie itself. Don't look at what happens in the end. It's a twist ending. Get over it. It's such a good movie other than that. Alright guys, but now we're getting into some of the better Jasons. My favorite Jasons, even though they're not in the best horror movies, best movies of this series, but they're good Jasons. Okay, so first one, my favorite mask out of my whole collection. I wear this mask just about every time I play Jason on for Halloween. Part 6, Jason Lives. I got the one that's a little bit more better looking. There could be potentially a bullet hole in this, but I decided to stick with this, the more complete one, and I'm looking at getting the bullet hole eventually. Like, we got the significant axe chop. Obviously looks way different than part 4. Wearer of this was C.J. Graham. A lot of people say he was kind of a robotic Jason, or Frankenstein kind of Jason, but I appreciated what he did. I think he did a very good job. One thing I do know about this movie is that part of it wasn't him. I think there was another Jason that played, and he was just terrible. And then they got C.J. Graham. So all in all, it's like part of it is Jason, and then part of it's not. Or part of it's CJ and part of it's not. I think the one part that I know that's him is like he's walking through the forest and you get that very sexy ass shot of Jason in that movie. I don't know about you guys, but whew! First sex appeal of Jason ever. It was really weird, but I guess that part's not CJ Graham. Awkward. Little bit. But moving on. Alright guys, this is when the man himself takes the helm of Jason. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, wake up people! You're watching Friday the 13th movies, you gotta know who's playing Jason. But this is the first one with the man, Kane Hodder. Part 7 with this big chop out of the cheek. Just seeing a lot of Jason's face in this movie, like you kind of see his teeth and his jaw. But Kane Hodder, man, he's the best Jason, period. I'll admit he wasn't in the best Jason movies, but I mean, just the fact that he's in it makes it so much better. And just, like, they kind of made this mask a little bit smaller than normal, but I mean, it's still overall a great mask. I like the significant chop out of the cheek is just, it just makes it overall one of my favorite masks. But like I said, part 6 is my favorite. It's the most significant one. It's the fullest, best looking one. Alright you guys, but like I said, moving on to part 8, still my man Kane Hodder. I feel like it's weird sometimes I'm talking like I know the guy personally, but I really don't. I wish I did. Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Man, this movie gets so much hate that I almost can't believe that it's getting as much as it does. That doesn't make any sense, but we're moving on. So, Kane Hodder's winning this one. He gets in saltwater, which is why it kind of has that yellow tint to it. Yeah, I gotta also have another copy of this with his autograph on it, because Kane Hodder's my favorite Jason of all time. I enjoy this one because it does have that yellow tint, and then at the end of the movie, you kind of see it just kind of floating away. It's going back to Crystal Lake, so Jason has to follow his face. Alright guys, so going on to part 9, Jason Goes to Hell. Well, part 9 or Jason Goes to Hell. I still call it Friday the 13th part 9. This is the most beat up mask in the series. Like, you kind of still have the cheek missing. You got big old gashes out of this. You got the whole eye ripped off. And this is one of the masks that cost me the most money because he had to detail it so much. But I mean, if you can see how much work goes into it, we got a bullet hole right here. I mean, Jason's still playing this one. This is a little bit weirder of a movie, and it's got, I mean, what if people know in the horror movie, gay shaving. Yeah, I didn't really know what they were talking about in the documentary, but after I watched the movie again, and you kind of understand what they mean by gay shaving. Yeah, gay shaving. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, check out that movie, and it'll be a trip. Alright, moving on to Jason X. Probably one of the most hated movies in this franchise, but honestly, the fact is they did a movie that sent him to space. They did it so well that it surprised me. I mean, they didn't make it Star Wars or anything, but I mean, the way they did it, I thought was great. I have 2 variants of this mask. This is the first one I got. It's very great in shape, but this mask does not allow a nose to exist. But I like the coloration on it. Kind of makes it look old, and it like it's supposed to. Like Jason's been doing this for a while. Obviously, he has. Also done by my man Kane Hodder. In this movie, we get Uber Jason. I wish I had a representation for that mask, but I don't. If anyone out there knows of a place for me to get one, a decent one, I'm in. Let me know. Leave a comment or like give me a message, you guys. I'm looking for an Uber Jason mask. But as far as my next Jason X mask, kind of the same thing, but this one allows for a nose. Like I said, Kane Hodder is still the wearer of this mask for Jason X. I bought this one because it came with hot glue all over it, so it made it look like it was ice crystalled, like when he first gets out of the freezing tank. So it was all ice crystalled, and then I got it, and it looked great. But as I went on, like, it started just looking like hot glue. So I kind of scraped all that off, and I noticed I still had a great mask out of that, so I kept it. Definitely another good addition. If I can just get that Uber Jason mask, I'll be freaking 100% complete. Alright guys, moving on to probably one of the best movies out in this franchise, because everyone and their mother went and saw this one. They even probably took Grandma to it, and she was like, yeah, kill him! But, you know, it's just one of those ones. Freddy vs. Jason. This was worn by Ken Kurtzinger. I believe he's a Canadian stuntman. I made sure when we did this one that I got the Freddy scratches in there. This was a very expensive mask because all the detail that went into it. As you can see, the little eye holes holding the leather have been worn and everything. I feel like Ken did a great job. I just felt it was unnecessary that Kane Hodder got replaced. I'll fight that till the day I die. Kane Hodder. Ken, you did a great job, you guy. I'm not going to take anything away from you. You did a great job. But Kane Hodder's our boy. It's going to be tough for you to live in his shadow forever. But Freddy vs. Jason, great movie. I love this mask. The fact that this guy did the detail he did, I'm very happy with it. Alright, guys. This is something I need to talk to. The remake. Did anyone like it? I don't know. I mean, I thought it was okay. I watch it more than a lot of other ones just because I want to like it. It's I feel like they changed Jason so much that it just made it just not Friday the 13th anymore. Like, they made him smart and calculating almost. Like, when they have that kill where the sleeping bag's hanging over the fire, and I'm just like, did he become a, like, astrophysicist in, like, in his off time? Was he underwater just reading astrophysicist books? I don't know. Geometry? How did he know that was going to work? I don't know, but it's hockey mask for the remake. Not really much has changed, really. They kind of made it more, like, face-hugging friendly instead of, like, the kind of the wide ones. Person who wore this was Derek Mears. I felt he was a little too skinny to be Jason. Yeah, it was his early one. Jason was skinny in part 2. Yeah, but I mean, if you're gonna do the like legit Jason, he's got to be a big dude. Derek Mears, I'm not taking anything from Derek Mears. I'm not gonna take anything from you. You did a good job. It's just I feel like everyone made you do the wrong thing, which makes me feel like Kane Hodder should have came in and told you Jason wouldn't do that. And so this is the last mask in my collection, you guys. I'm waiting for it when they make another Jason movie, because I'll get another Jason mask. So kind of the way I got these, you guys, I kind of got with a guy on eBay. I bought 2 of his masks, kind of realized it's by the same guy. I talked to him, I sent him an email, I was like, what other ones do you make? He says, what do you want? And so I just kind of went in business with him. I said, hey, what are you willing to make? He says, what do you want? Every now and then I got paid. I sent him what I wanted. He sent me pictures of what he made. If I wanted, I bought it. I believe he's on eBay as Rotten45 right now. Whether he's still doing this or not is not something I can say. I haven't talked to him in a long time. I'm definitely going to need to find out if he's still doing this, because if I need another hockey mask. But you guys, that's pretty much my hockey mask collection. If you guys have any questions, I'd love to fill questions about hockey mask, Friday the 13th, horror movies, slasher movies, anything, you guys. Anything you guys want to throw at me, I'll try and give you the best knowledge I got. I'm the Horror Junkie 509. It's kind of my job. So, this is kind of it. If you guys like what you see, maybe I'll try and find out another collection of memorabilia I got. I'll stick to horror, so this isn't some other kind of junkie show, but this is the Horror Junkie 509 signing out, and I'll see you guys next time.